Blood covered the clean white marble floors inside London's fanciest secret underground auction room. Pieces of very rich people's bodies lay all around. Genevieve thought her stepmother selling her to scary debt collectors was the worst thing that could happen. She did not know it was really the start of her own strong rule. To people outside, the Carmichael family from Belgravia looked like a fancy old rich family that was slowly losing its shine. When Arthur Carmichael died from a big heart attack, everyone felt sad for the smart man who bought and sold buildings. But inside their tall six-floor house with heavy wooden doors, things were much darker and scarier. Arthur left behind huge hidden money problems. His second wife Beatrice was the kind of person who would do anything bad to save herself. Genevieve Carmichael was Arthur's real daughter from his first marriage. She became the one who had to take all the blame for her stepmother's money mistakes. While Beatrice and her two daughters, Chloe and Madison, went to big fancy parties in beautiful expensive dresses and shiny jewels, Genevieve had to stay hidden. She lost all her father's money because of tricky laws that Beatrice's mean lawyers used. She had to work like a servant in the house where she grew up, and she got no pay for it. The money Beatrice owed was not to a normal bank. It was to a group called the Mercer Group. They worked from a big plain tall building in Canary Wharf. People in the money part of the city said the Mercers were like bad lenders for super rich people. But the real truth was even worse, like something from a scary dream. The Mercer Group did not use normal money when someone could not pay. They took people instead. They were a secret group of night creatures who looked like business people. They fed on people who were scared and had no hope. Genevieve first saw the strange men 1 week before she turned 21 years old. They sat in dark cars with black windows parked across the street from the big house. Their skin was very white. Their bodies moved in smooth ways that did not look normal. They wore dark glasses to hide their eyes, even when it was raining in London. The bad thing happened on a Tuesday night. Beatrice told all the workers in the house to go home early, which was not normal. She asked Genevieve to come into the big eating room. This kind act made Genevieve feel very scared right away. Chloe and Madison sat at the table. They would not look at her. They played with their wine glasses because they felt nervous. "Sit down, Genevieve," Beatrice said. Her voice sounded cold and hard. She pushed a cup of tea across the shiny wooden table. "Drink this. You look very tired." "What is happening, Beatrice?" Genevieve asked. She did not touch the cup. "Why did you send the workers away? Why are there 3 black cars waiting outside our house?" Beatrice made a long breath and touched her green necklace. "Your father, may he rest, took a lot of money from Dominic Mercer. The time to pay ended yesterday. They want £5 million, or something just as good, instead." Genevieve's heart beat very fast. "We do not have £5 million. You used the last money to buy that big house in Monaco." "Yes," Madison said with a mean smile. She finally stopped looking nervous. "That is why Mother made a special deal." The front door of the big house did not open nicely. It broke off its strong metal parts with a very loud noise. Genevieve jumped up fast, but then her head started to feel dizzy. The room seemed to move around her. She looked at the tea she never drank, but the smell in the air was strong. Someone put sleeping medicine in the air. 4 men walked into the eating room. They wore very nice suits made in London, but they were not normal humans. The leader was Dominic Mercer. His eyes were completely black, with no white parts. His skin was white like stone. When he smiled, his mouth opened very wide and showed sharp teeth like needles. Genevieve stepped back. Her legs felt heavy. What are you?" she said with a scared voice. She held the table so she would not fall. "Payment," Dominic said in a low voice that made her teeth hurt. He threw a thick leather book on the table. "The Carmichael family debt is now paid, Beatrice. We take this clean girl from a good family. She will sell for a lot of money at the pens in Surrey. Take her and leave, Beatrice said. Her voice shook a little, but she did not look at Genevieve when the girl fell to the floor. Please, Genevieve cried. Her words sounded slow because of the medicine. Chloe, Madison, you cannot do this. Her stepsisters looked away. Dominic Mercer moved very fast, faster than eyes could see. His cold, hard hand held Genevieve's neck and lifted her up from the floor like she was light. Sweet dreams, little bird, Dominic said softly. His cold breath touched her ear. You belong to the monsters now. Everything went dark. Genevieve woke up to smells of blood, strong perfume, and wet ground. Her head hurt a lot. When she could see clearly, she understood the terrible place she was in. She was inside a fancy metal cage with gold colors. She was not alone. The room was a big underground party hall cut from rock under a huge house. Pretty lights hung from the high stone roof and gave soft yellow light. But the people there were the scary part. Many rich-looking people stood around the middle stage where her cage was. They wore very expensive clothes. They drank thick red liquid from nice glasses. The room made a low, hungry sound. These were the strong night hunters who controlled normal people's world, but saw humans as food. Dominic Mercer stood next to her cage, on the selling stage. He hit a silver hammer on the bars. Ladies and gentlemen of the night group, he said loud. His voice filled the big room. Tonight we have something special. Not a poor street child or a scared runaway. This is clean, rich blood. Genevieve Carmichael grew up with money. She is 21 years old, never touched, and her own family left her. Cold, mean laughs went through the crowd. Genevieve pushed herself to the back of the cage. She shook hard. She thought she would die there. These creatures would drink all her blood. Her stepfamily would keep living rich lives with no punishment. We start at 2 million, Dominic said. His black eyes looked greedy. 3, someone said from the front. 4, another voice called from dark places. The prices went up fast. The numbers did not matter to these rich monsters. They saw her like special old wine. Genevieve closed her eyes. Hot tears ran down her face. I will not let them, she thought. She looked for something sharp to end her own life before they could take her. 10 million. The voice was not loud. It did not shout, but it cut through all the noise like a sharp tool. The whole room became quiet right away. The hungry sounds stopped. The monsters moved back and made a wide, empty path in the middle. From the big dark door came a man who seemed to make light disappear around him. He was tall and wore a perfect dark suit on a strong body. His hair was neat. His face bones were sharp, but his eyes were bright red, like fire. They held old, strong anger that was held back. This was Nathaniel Croft. To normal people, Nathaniel Croft was a quiet, rich man who made tech things and helped others. To the monsters, he was like a king god. He ruled the night group. His family line went back to old Rome times. He never came to these people-selling events. Dominic Mercer looked scared. The proud look left his face. My king, we did not think you would come. I am happy. I say 10 million. Nathaniel said it again in a smooth voice that still felt heavy and scary. He walked slow to the stage. His shoes made no sound on the stone. Any other offers? No one spoke. No one would go against the king. Nathaniel stopped by the stage. His red eyes looked at Genevieve. For one moment, the old anger in his eyes became softer. It turned into strong wanting that made Genevieve breathe fast. Sold, Dominic said quickly and bowed. To the king, please sign the book. I did not bring money, Mercer, Nathaniel said softly as he stepped on the stage. Dominic looked confused. My king, I do not understand. The price was 10 million. Nathaniel stopped him. I do not pay bad people who sell stolen girls. Before Dominic could understand the word girls, Nathaniel moved like lightning. His hand went straight into Dominic's chest. It broke bones like dry sticks. Dominic made a sound, and black blood came from his mouth. Nathaniel pulled his hand back, with the dark heart still beating. He crushed it into nothing with one move. Dominic's body fell and turned to gray dust. The big room went crazy. Guards from Mercer's group shouted and ran with silver knives. Nathaniel did not need any weapon. He was like a storm. He took one guard by the neck and pulled the head off. He threw it into the crowd. He turned and broke another guard's arm, then kicked through the knee. Sounds of breaking bones and tearing filled the room over the screams of rich people trying to run. But the big iron doors closed tight. No one could leave. "None of you will go," Nathaniel said. His voice had strong power that made every vampire fall to their knees. The guards dropped their weapons. They could not move because of the king's power. Nathaniel stood in the blood and ash. He looked clean. He took a white cloth from his pocket and cleaned his hands carefully. Then he looked at the cage. With one hand he held the lock. The metal bent and broke. He opened the door and came inside. He knelt in front of scared Genevieve. He put his hand near her wet face, but did not touch yet. His red eyes looked deep into hers. He saw her fear, her mixed feelings, and her tiredness. "Do not be scared of me, Genevieve," he said softly. His voice changed from strong weapon to kind protection. "How do you know my name?" she asked in a small voice. She could not look away from his eyes. "What will you do to me?" "I know your name because I looked for you more than 100 years, Nathaniel said gently. He picked her up like she was light. He held her close to his chest to hide her from the messy room. "And what I will do, my queen, is take you home. Then I will visit your stepmother in a special way." The move from the bloody underground room to complete safety felt like a fast dream to Genevieve. She remembered Nathaniel carrying her past all the scared, kneeling monsters. She remembered cold London air on her face, and a black helicopter waiting by the river. Most of all, she remembered the calm, strong feeling of Nathaniel's chest. He had no normal heartbeat, but a deep, old power sound that helped her sleep deeply with no bad dreams. When Genevieve woke up, the bad cage smell was gone. Warm sunlight came through tall, strong windows. She lay in a huge, comfortable bed with nice, soft covers inside a very big, beautiful bedroom. It looked like the best hotel room in the world. She sat up fast. Her heart beat quick as she looked around. The room had simple but very expensive things. Old, valuable art hung on walls. A modern computer screen glowed on a glass table. She wore a soft silk sleeping dress that was not hers before. "I asked my women workers who are human to help you. They are quiet and careful," a voice said. Genevieve made a surprised sound and held the covers tight. Nathaniel sat in a big chair in the corner. He had changed from the bloody suit to a clean white shirt with rolled sleeves that showed strong arms. In daytime, his eyes were deep purple, not red. "Where am I?" she asked with a dry voice. "You are in my safe home in the high hills of Scotland, called Dunrobin Sanctuary," Nathaniel said. He stood up and moved quietly to the end of the bed. "You are safe here, Genevieve. No bad groups, no debt people, and no normal person will ever hurt you again. I promise as the king." Genevieve remembered the auction and the heart he took out. "You killed him, Dominic Mercer. You took his heart." "Yes," Nathaniel said. He did not feel sorry. "I would do it many times for putting you in a cage. You asked me how I knew your name and why I searched." "Yes," she said softly. She pulled her knees up. "I do not understand. I am only the forgotten daughter of a man with money problems. Why would a king want me?" Nathaniel sat on the bed edge. He looked very handsome up close. He took out an old, small leather book with letters CC on it. "Your mother, Catherine Carmichael, was more than a party person," he said softly. "She was from an old family called House of Valois. They made important agreements with the Knight Group long ago in the 1500s. For many years, Women from that family and my people were connected. You have special blood that lets you rule next to the king and stay human. Genevieve tried to understand. My mother died in a car crash when I was 3. It was not an accident, Nathaniel said. His face looked tight. Bad people in my group killed her because they did not want a human queen. They tried to end the family line. But your mother hid you with Arthur Carmichael. After she died, I looked for you for 18 years. Tears came to Genevieve's eyes. Her life was not what she thought. Her mother died to protect her. Then she thought of Beatrice. My stepmother, she always hated me. But last night she looked at me in a special way. It was not only money. Nathaniel's eyes turned darker red again. Yes, we read her secret messages today. She found out about your mother's family 6 months ago, in a hidden bank box. She knew on your 21st birthday, you would get huge money from an old trust, more than many countries have. Genevieve felt empty. She sold me to monsters not for the debt, but to remove me before I got the money. She made a deal with Mercer. Yes, Nathaniel said in a cold voice. He forgets the debt. He gets to sell you. She takes your money and says you ran away. Genevieve looked at her hands. For many years she took bad treatment. She cleaned floors. She wore old clothes from her stepsisters. She felt worthless. But this was too much. They planned her death for money. New strong anger grew in her. She looked at the king with no fear. You said you would visit my stepmother. Nathaniel smiled in a strong, beautiful way that promised big trouble. He gently put her hair behind her ear. I will. But this is your life now, Genevieve. This is your kingdom. I will let you see the bad things happen. Will you come with me to London? Genevieve said yes right away. Back in the Belgravia house, the Carmichael home was full of party sounds. Glasses made noise and music played loud. Beatrice spent lots of money. She bought expensive champagne. Papers about money and travel books and jewels were on the table. Chloe and Madison laughed on the soft couch. They looked at expensive houses in another country on a computer. I still cannot believe it worked, Mother, Chloe said and drank. The lawyers say the big money trust is ready tomorrow. We are super rich now. We never have to see Genevieve's sad face again. Beatrice stood tall and looked at herself in a shiny plate. She looked happy. The girl was always a problem. I did what her father could not. I removed the extra weight. Mercer's people are fast. By now she is probably in some far place, as food for a rich sick person. That is right for her. Do they really drink blood? Madison asked with a mean smile. It is gross, but who cares? Beatrice laughed. We are free. We are rich. Tomorrow we leave this wet city forever. The room suddenly became very cold. Breath came out like white clouds. The big wooden doors broke off and flew across the room. They broke the pretty light into many pieces. Chloe and Madison screamed. The room became dark like magic. Music stopped strangely. Nathaniel Croft walked in. He wore a perfect black suit. He looked like the strongest hunter. The air felt heavy around him. It made the women fall to their knees. But it was not only him that scared Beatrice most. Genevieve walked out from behind him. She was not the scared servant anymore. She wore a beautiful dark blue dress. A big diamond necklace with old family sign was on her neck. She stood tall and looked cold. Genevieve, Beatrice said. Her face went white. No, that cannot be. You were sold. Mercer is dead, Genevieve said in a strong voice. He turned to ash in front of me. And you sold me too cheap, Beatrice. Nathaniel moved fast and stood behind Beatrice. His hands were on her chair. Beatrice cried in fear. You made a bad deal with a wrong group, Beatrice Carmichael, Nathaniel said in a dangerous, soft voice. You sold my queen. You tried to steal money protected by the Knight Group. The old rules say the punishment for big betrayal is complete end. Please, Beatrice cried. She put her head on the floor. I did not know she was yours. Take the money. Take everything. Spare me. Then she pointed at her daughters. Take Chloe and Madison. They are young and pretty. Sell them. Just save me. The daughters screamed at their mother in shock. Genevieve watched the sad scene. Beatrice, who hurt her for 10 years, now offered her own children to save herself. It was very bad. You are the real monster, Beatrice, Genevieve said quietly. Worse than the night creatures you sold me to. She turned to Nathaniel. The king waited for her order like a ready weapon. What is your decision, my queen? He asked with respect. Genevieve looked at the stepsisters and stepmother. Take all their money, close their secret bank places, sell everything they have. Make sure no bank will ever help them again. Then leave them in the normal world they love so much. Let them feel what it is like to have nothing. Nathaniel smiled with his sharp teeth. That is worse than death for them. A blood payment must happen, Genevieve. Genevieve looked at scared Beatrice. You wanted to trade blood, Beatrice. Now pay it. Nathaniel moved fast. He did not kill them because death was too easy. He bit their wrists and put a small amount of his special liquid inside. It did not change them fully, but gave them a curse. The women screamed as burning feeling went through them. It would never go away completely. This will make sure you never rest well, Nathaniel said, standing over them. You will feel the king's fire in your bodies, all your lives. If you ever say Genevieve's name again, I will come back and be less kind. Nathaniel turned away and gave his arm to Genevieve. She took it and felt calm inside. The house that was once a prison now felt empty. She took back her life and future. As they walked into the London night, Nathaniel put his coat around her. Are you ready to go home, my queen? He asked with loving eyes. Genevieve smiled. Lead the way. This story teaches us something important about real strength and family. Even when people who should love you treat you badly and try to hurt you for money, you can still rise up and become strong. It shows that true power comes from inside, from choosing kindness and justice instead of hate. In real life, many people face betrayal from family, but like Genevieve, you can find good people who support you and build a better future. Remember, education and learning about your own history and value can help you overcome hard times. Always stand up for what is right, and never let greed or cruelty define who you are. Forgiveness and strength together make the best rulers in any story or real life. This reminds us to value honest relationships and to keep learning every day so we can protect ourselves and help others.